Namaskar, I'm Harpreet Kaur and I welcome you all to our live and interactive online training program on media literacy. You are watching us live on PM eVidya channels 6 to 12 and also on our YouTube handle NCERT official. Today we are in day 5 of the training session where the topic that we are taking up is game literacy. This training program is brought to you by Central Institute of Educational Technology in collaboration with the Indian Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi. If you have any questions pertaining to the topic, please feel free to get in touch with us. Our phone number is 8800440559. Our email ID is training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. And on our YouTube handle NCERT official, you can send us your questions, suggestions and of course your feedback. One more thing, it's a training program, so there is going to be an assessment, and today once the session gets over, assessment courses will be released. So you can log on to our CIET website for further guidelines and instructions on the same. We request you to kindly watch the session very carefully. In case you have missed out on live sessions, you can watch the uploaded sessions on our YouTube handle NCERT official. If you score more than 70% in the assessment, you will be granted a certificate that can be downloaded through DIKSHA portal. And now, we move ahead in the session. It's time for me to introduce all of you to my guest for the session. We have with us Dr. Archana Kumari. Ma'am is Associate Professor from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. Ma'am, namaskar and very warm welcome to you.
Namaskar.
Ma'am, we are talking about media literacy. We have learned about news literacy. We have learned about on advertising literacy as well. Game literacy is quite new to all of us. I want to understand what is the relevance of the topic and what all important points you'll be covering in the session today.
You very rightly said that game literacy is very new, and people do not think that playing game it also needs certain kind of literacy. A level of literacy is required. So that's why I am going to talk about understanding game, mountains of literacy, and then I am also going to talk about why we are actually discussing game literacy. What are the effects of game literacy, what are the effects of games on the people's life, and also I am going to talk about that how to read games through various lenses.
Right, ma'am. And ma'am, now you please go ahead with your presentation uninterrupted. Also tell us about the main points, and whatever questions we will be receiving from audiences, we will take them up in the end. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, Harpreet.
Right.
So, friends, we are going to talk about the game literacy, and game literacy, when we talk about, we have to just think about literacy also. So, literacy, there are different types of literacy, and literacy has a, we have also conceptualized the literacy mountain, and literacy mountain has media literacy, which you have already covered, and you all already know about it. ICT literacy is there, financial literacy is there, there is transliteracy, there is emotional literacy. Lot of these types of literacies are there, which are new but which are very important. There are computer literacy, there are traditional literacy, gestural literacy, and these literacies are very much important and very I would say that very relevant point of human being, because we are relevant part of human being, because we are living in a world where such kind of literacy we need it to navigate our life. So that's why game literacy is also part of it, this literacy mountain. Let us talk about understanding games, because without understanding games we cannot talk about game literacy. So, when we talk about games, we understand it, define it by the ability to explain, by the ability to discuss, describe, frame, situate, interpret and or position games. So, in what context we are situating it? We are situating it in the context of human culture. Games as a cultural artifacts, because game are actually related to the human culture. They are perceived, they are known, they are understood by the culture which we actually come from. And not only that, games also transcribe many types of culture. They transform many types of culture. So in the context of human culture, we try to understand game. In context of other games also, we try to understand games, because there are so many different types of games, and what games we are playing, we are relating it to different games also. So We compare it with different types of games, we compare it with different genres, like there are board games, there have been many types of games, but today from games we understand the video games and digital games. So in that context we compare it with the traditional types of games and board games and the card games kind of things. So understanding games is important to understand the relevance of games, to understand the structure of games. In the context of technological platforms also, games are very much relevant, and they are executed, because on which platform you are playing games, it also plays a great role. So according to I can relate it to media ecology also, because the medium is very important, and medium on which you are playing game, it also raises your excitement level, your curiosity, your understanding of the game. So medium, technological platform is also very important. In the context of technological platform, the understanding of game is also, it also depends upon it. So and then we are also deconstructing games and understanding their components. We are structure of games are also different in different cases. So deconstructing it and then understanding their structure is also important to understand game. Games as a cultural artifacts, as I told you that as a cultural artifacts, games are there. So games could be part of transmedia storytelling ecology. What is transmedia storytelling? When we imagine a world which is beyond our real physical world, like the games like Star Trek or Star Wars, video games extend the universe and the story beyond what is seen in the movies. So this is something where games are considered to be transmedia storytelling ecology, under the transmedia storytelling ecology. And games could remediate a cultural artifacts from another medium, because there are games which have been taken from literature, there are games which have been taken from movies. So we have the example of Harry Potter, which is a novel also, which has a movie also, and it has a game. So from different medium it travels, and in that way it remediates a cultural artifacts from one form to another form. So there are video games adaptation of comics, books, movies, and there also gameplay as a cultural artifact. Then games could share in thematic and aesthetic qualities of a broader media genre. Like some video games share the dystopian world view, where the world is ending and then you have to save the world, and outlook of science fiction genre is also there. Games could be part of a broader artistic movement also, like surrealism, a cultural movement, uses games to provide inspiration as well, playing games as a method of investigation. Like there are many games where you investigate that what is happening, what are the exploration related to that. There is a movement, artistic movement also, which is related to games. Then games could share discursive practices of subculture. Some video games are part of hip hop culture, some games are the part of different kind of Japanese culture. In Japanese culture there are so many new types of games have been made, and children today, teenagers today are very much liking it. Then game could share values and viewpoints of certain cultures or societies. Many video games set during World War II assume the perspective and values of allied nations. So games can actually set the perspective, narrative. So this is also one very important part of the media, where we have to understand the game literacy. Then mechanics of games, in order to understand games, we have to understand the mechanics of games also. There are experience points, and we know that there are some high points in any games where you gain some points and then your level ups. So that kind of experience points are also there, and these are called mechanics of games. Then there are hit points. Hit points are a numerical indicator on how much health a character has, means as many hits a character can take, as strong the character can be. So if there is any damage in any character, and he or she can take those damages, and so they become very much impenetrable. So that kind of character is also very powerful, and they are perceived as powerful character in games. Then character has a class also. So what kind of class the character belonging to, and what are the powers, and what are the limitations of that character, that also depends upon the game mechanics. So like somebody in a game is a mage, so he or she can perform magic, but somebody is a warrior, so they cannot perform magic, or they cannot do anything related to magic, so they don't have any supernatural power. So there are limitations as well as some extra power in a character, which is also part of the mechanics of games. There are some, these are some popular games which I just wanted to highlight, because since we are talking about games, we cannot go beyond without talking about and mentioning these games like Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 5, Red Dead Redemption, Hogwarts Legacy. These are some popular games which are there. Then there are some top competitive online games which are played in groups, and these are Counter Strike 2, Apex Legends, Fortnite, Valorant, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 3. So these are the games which are being played very much with this generation, and they are liking it so much. There are certain characteristics of games also. Why games are liked so much? Why people are so much addicted towards games? What are the characteristics which are so much attractive in a game? So first of all, it is interactive, which is very interesting to see, because people are interacting with each other and at the same time they are playing it. Transaction between players is taking place. While playing the game, the players are also doing some transaction. There is some mode of transaction in form of points, in form of winning, losing. So the reward is there, the competition is there. So that is also very interesting. The chance to influence, in no other media you can influence the course of action, you can influence the story. Here you can influence the story in whatever way. You can mold the story, you can change it, you can make your way, and that is very interesting and enthusiastic about games. Then immersion, the players get immersed into the character, they get immersed into the story, and that is very I would say that involving for the characters and for the players also, for the gamers also. And then integration is very interesting, because you become the part of the character, you become the character yourself. So you integrate yourself with the character, and these characteristics of games, you do not find it anywhere in any other media, in any other form. So that's why I feel that characteristics of games are such that it actually increases the excitement level of the gamers and excitement level of the players so much that they get involved in this gaming culture. Let us talk about game literacy, which is our main topic. It was only on the periphery when we are talking about all those things, but those were very important to understand what is game literacy. So game literacy means there are 3 points which I have taken from one of the very good research papers. So there are 3 points. The game literacy means having the ability to play games, having the ability to understand meanings with respect to games, having the ability to make games also. So at a very superior level, when you are able to play games, when you are understanding meanings associated with game, when you are contextualizing the games, you are also trying to make games. There are so many exercises in so many part of worlds where educational system also gives such kind of assignments to the students, where you actually learn how to play games, and not only learn how to play games but how to make games, and the students are given these kind of assignments. What is the basic requirement of game literacy? Because game literacy is not possible without some basic qualification, some basic knowledge, some basic educational background, because everybody cannot play a game without understanding these basic things. There are certain jargons also which are associated with a particular game. So becoming literate with game requires several competencies that are highly contextual based on the game, its modality and other players. This usually includes acquiring knowledge of the game. First of all, you should have knowledge about the game, then its genre, what kind of game is it, what kind of genre it belongs to, then its platform, on which platform you are going to play it, because it actually helps a lot when you play a game on a platform, and which platform you are playing it, it also enhances the aura of the game. The history of the same or similar games means what kind of similar games have been there, and how the history was created and how it was played, other games how it was played. In that context, we have to understand, we have to see the games, and then these are the basic requirements without which it is very difficult to understand a game, very difficult to play a game. And the first condition for game literacy is to able to be play a game, and when you are able to be play a game, then you have to have these prerequisites in terms of game literacy. Then you also have Video game literacy. When we talk about game literacy, there are many types of games which are video games, means, and we understand today whenever we talk about game, nobody thinks about Ludo, nobody thinks about carom board. People think, when we talk about game, people think about video games only, digital games only. So video game literacy is of utmost importance nowadays. So much of the game literacy is perceived today in through digital games and video games. It represents a form of cultural currency. What is video game? But it's a cultural currency. We have so many games. Japanese anime is very much popular, and similarly there are soft cultural currency which is being transacted. We are playing, we are being some characters, and then we are playing those games, and we feel as part of those characters, as part of that culture, as part of those societies. So that's a cultural currency which is being transacted through games. Ubiquity of access across computers, laptops, tablets, handhelds and mobile devices. So on any of these devices, on any of these kind of gadgets, you can play games, video games. So that makes it very ubiquitous. So this makes it is very handy, very easy to use and play games, even it is if you have computers, laptops, tablets, handheld devices, mobile devices, anything, you can play games, video games on that. So this is also very important part. Then game literacy through medium. In different medium, there are different types of mediums also affect the games a lot. We have video games, we have films based on which games are being made. We have television on which there are games are shown. We have literature, television programs are also translated into games. We have literature which are translated into games, and then we have digital also. So game literacy through medium is also very interesting to see that how, as I gave you the example of Harry Potter, that it is a book also, novel also, it is a movie, and then it is in the form of game, you can see it. Then Guardian of Galaxy, which is a movie, and then it is a game also. So there are people, King Kong, you see, so these kind of games which are there, and they are actually through mediums, their meanings also change and they become very relevant in today's world. Then we have why game literacy. This was a question very initially asked with me, that why are we talking about game literacy? Because it enables players to understand, analyze and apply game mechanics. So mechanics of the game, hit points, I told you about mechanics of the game. There are hit points, there are experience points. So all those things, if you will understand, if you are game literate, if you are not game literate, you do not understand these jargons, these points easily. Then it also helps in building a crucial problem solving attitude, critical thinking and adaptability, because in games you are solving a problem, always you are doing something, you are saving the world or you are exploring a treasure, you are doing those things which are unimaginable in your day-to-day life. You are not physically doing it, you are doing it through a game, and you are learning. In that process, your mind, your brain is getting trained. So these are crucial skills, they are life skills, problem solving, critical thinking, adaptability. These are life skills which you are learning through the games. It is vital for learning. How to learn, because you see that children and the teenagers and the other people who are very much interested in games, that learn it very quickly. So it is interesting way of learning. Then enhances social skills, communication and creativity. I can give you one example that I have seen in a research paper, that one in an interview, the person says that my cousin lives 1,000 miles away from me, but still I can connect with him on with a game. We are playing game together, and that is how you are also making social connections. You are communicating with people, you're increasing the creativity, you are doing it through the games. So games are also very interesting in and very important in making social connect. Again, why game literacy? Because it gives young people a route into reading and writing. When sometimes you are interested in games, then you go back and you read the book also. You are interested in game, you go back and watch the movie. It improves confidence in young people's reading skills. So you feel that, okay, I can play this game, then I can also read it, I can also watch the movie, and it will be interesting for you. immerse young people in stories which build our lives. Stories are very interesting, and our lives revolves around stories. So it tells you, it gives you an opportunity to immerse yourself into stories, and especially young people who are very much far away from not reading the stories. They are actually audio visual media, so they need certain kind of new experiences, and games provide them that new excitement, new experiences. It support positive communication with family and friends, because 4-5 cousins who are living away from each other, if they are playing game together, there is a social connection, there is a communication with family and friends. Then it increases empathy and support well-being, because most of the time you are playing games with some other people, some unknown people, and then you are empathize with them. You are actually making friends with them, with their and you are taking care of their well-being also. Engage reluctant readers with literacy, because sometimes readers do not want, what is literacy, why do we want to be literate, whether it is traditional literacy or transliteracy, or whether it is emotional literacy. They think that they do not need it, but actually reluctant readers get interested in literacy through games. So it is also interesting to see that how games important make you literate. Here are some of the research results, and these are very interesting results which have been conducted by Pew Research Center, and it says that more than half of the teens who play video games, it helps their problem solving skills, but many say it negatively impacts the amount of sleep they get. So problem solving skills is increased, friendship is increased, ability to work with others is increased, mental health is also getting better, but school performance and amount of sleep, that is a negative point. These two are negative points which they have got, and according to this Pew Research Center result. Then most teens who play video games do so with others. As I told you that with others, they play games with other people, and about half made a friend through them. So playing games with other people and making friends with them, it is some kind of social skill which is unimaginable at this point of time when everybody is making friends on social media. So you are making friends through games. So that's also very interesting to see. Then 7 in 10 teen boys who play video games say that there is violence in at least some of the games they play. So that's something, there is a red flag in those senses, because effects are not always positive, there are some negative effects also, and when they say that there are some violence, that means that there is a negative effect also, because seeing and playing so much violent games is also affecting our psychological well-being. Then most teens say that bullying while playing video games is a problem for people their age, because if you are playing games with some older boys or girls or some older seniors, then there is a chance and vulnerability of bullying in that case. So this kind of result was also shown in Pew Research Center. Then half of the teen boys who play video games say they have been called an offensive names while playing. So these kind of problems are also there when you play with anonymous people. There are the chances that these people are actually not from the same cultural background, and they can call you names. So this is also one of the negative point by Pew Research Center which was there. But why are they playing game? Why teenagers are playing game? Why are they so much interested in games? And not only teenagers, even adult people are playing games, because the reason given was that it is purely for entertainment. Most of the people said that it is for fun or entertainment, and some others said that it is for spending time with others, competing against others. So it gives them very much happiness and pleasure when they are competing and winning against others. Then there is other reasons also, like teen games are especially likely to say spending time and competing with others are reasons why they play. So this is also, as in the first slide also, before this in the previous slide also we have seen that teens are gaming and they are using games to spend time and competing with others as a reason, and not only entertainment but actually playing and spending time with others is also one important factor for which they are playing games. There are some case studies which we must not forget, that there are certain negative case studies for such games, and in some cases there have been very adverse effect on the health of the mental health and physical health of the players. Like we have Blue Whale Challenge, which was an old game, but it started taking shape in Russia, and after that it spread to India, China and Brazil. And we have seen that there have been teens who lost their lives also. They committed suicide due to this game, because what happened that in some of the cases the task was so much severe, and they had to complete 50 tasks, almost 50 tasks in the period of 1 week or 1 month. The period was given by the game itself, and at the last they would actually succumb to the self harm or suicide. So these kind of games were also there. These case studies we should not forget while we are actually understanding the game literacy. Then we have also certain example of Just Dance, FIFA, Mario Kart in Spain. They have caused lot of psychological pressure on the gamers, and they have been feeling sleeplessness, they have been feeling anxiety, depression. So these kind of repercussions are also there in the games. But so that's why it is important to see that how do we read a game, what are the points which we must consider while gaming, which are the points which we should read about a game. So who made the game and why? What is the purpose of the game? So is it violent in nature? Is it that bad? Is it actually causing certain kind of harm to my psychological well-being? So these are the points we should consider, that who made the game and why. What is the purpose of the game? Is it purely for entertainment, or is it for commercial benefit? Is it to entice me towards doing self-harm or something? So this first thing we must ask ourselves. Then what is included or excluded in the game world? So if you are a complete gamer and regular gamer, you must be knowing that what is included and what is excluded in the game world. Then what values or ideologies does the game promote or reinforce? So as I told you that there are, during wars also, on the wars there have been games which have been made, and they also propagate certain ideologies. Whether these ideologies are according to the set norms, or these are something which are against the integrity of the nation, that also we have to see and we have to understand. How do players interact with content, and how does it affect them? So the affect and interaction is also very important to see, that if the game affects you negatively, adversely, then certainly it is not for you. So in game literacy we need to understand and read the game, and then only we have to move forward to do this thing. Then there are many elements of game. These elements of game are also, we should note it down, we should know about it, like players, whether the game is played by individual or the group of the people or two people. So players are important. Then objectives, what is the objective of the game, what is the goal of the game, what are we trying to achieve through the game. Then rules are also important. Without rules there is no excitement in a game. Without rules you cannot play a game. So every game has a set of rules. Then procedure, what is the process of playing that game? That is also one of the very important element of a game. Then resources, what are the resources you have got, through what resources you are playing the game. Are you playing it on your mobile phone or a laptop or a tablet? Conflict, what are the conflict you are trying to solve in a game. Boundaries, what are the limitation under which you are playing game. Like if you have a character, just like I have given an example, that if you have a character which has a supernatural power, does it have certain limitation or boundaries? Then outcome, what are the outcomes, what are we trying to achieve through the game. So these are few points, elements of the games which we must keep it in mind. Then there are lenses for games. From which lens we are seeing the game. Lens of the player, are we using the lens of the player, that how players are seeing it, how we are immersed into the game. Then lens of surprise, what are the twists and turns which are surprising me, what are the twists and turns in the games which are very exciting. So these, from that lens also games should be seen. Lens of skill versus chance, if you are not skilled enough, you don't know how to play, how to work on a console, then obviously you cannot play a game. So skill and chance is also very important, that how much skillful, how much resourceful you are. lens of curiosity is also there. What is going to happen? What will happen next? What is the last end of the game? What is the final outcome of the game? That is also very interesting, and that actually keeps us always on our toes in while playing a game, and active while playing a game. Then design grammar. This is one very significant part of any of the game. I will explain it with one example also. So, what are the underlying models, what are the games, what are the models on which the games are made, and this game is made on which model. So, this you should ask. This is also called design grammar. What choices and actions does the player have available to him or her? So, what choices and actions, what are the steps you can take in a game? What are allowed, what are the steps are allowed, what actions are allowed, what choices are allowed in any game? What are the core elements of gameplay? So, this is also one very important part, that what are the core elements, what are you looking for, what is the where are the hidden treasures in any of the game, what are the hit points, what are the experience point, what are the basic patterns of the game and how are they combined or recombined. So, these are the part of the design grammar. So, in any game, if there are designs and if there is a grammar, then it is and if you understand a design grammar of a game, means you are game literate. We have this example. Understanding most of the games in the Legend of Zelda series includes understanding the cyclical nature of the activities the player is required to accomplish. So, understanding most of the games in this series of Legend of Zelda, it includes the cyclic nature of activities the player is required to accomplish. So, there are many activities which takes place and which are expected to complete in any of the game, and in the Legend of Zelda series, these activities are player has to understand that how these activities are fulfilled. We have this example where player is usually required to find the entrance to a dungeon, enter the dungeon, discover a treasure, find keys, a map and a compass, defeat a monster at the bottom of the dungeon, and obtain an item or power necessary for the next challenge. So, these are the things which exploration is, lot of exploration is there in this series, and grammar of on the basis of the previous slide in which I showed the grammar of the game, I have tried to deconstruct this game in that form, and the example is this particular game. Then we have, at last we have some key takeaways, like encourage autonomous participation. These are the key takeaways from this particular presentation, that autonomous participation, utilize familiar tools and design flexible phase activities. These are important for any of the game. Then apply the reflective gaming approach to enhance students' understanding of game mechanics and decision making processes, while also fostering reflective and analytical skills if there are enough resources for appropriate guidance. So, games can be used for educational purposes also. Games can be used to teach interestingly. Games can be used to impart education in an interesting and very convincing manner. Adopt the game analysis approach to support critical thinking, conceptualizing and functional analysis within existing school practices. So, games can be used in analyzing and conceptualizing and functional analysis within existing school practices, and these are very interesting part of using games. Promote conceptual game design to engage students' creativity, fostering narrative and structural design. So, these are the points which we can take away from today's this lecture on game literacy, and these are key takeaways. And apart from these, there are so many things which are happening in the world of games. We will keep talking about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for delivering that presentation on game literacy. Of course, you mentioned certain points which we never came across before, and indeed after listening to all this, we need to have game literacy. And the games that you mentioned, like Blue Whale, of course it turned out to be really fatal, and had we been literate before, we would have stopped this long ago.
Yes.
So ma'am, we have received a few questions from our audiences, and this there's one question, and the person is asking that how can games be used as a form of social commentary addressing issues like identity and culture?
So actually, as I told in that, games are already being used as a cultural currency. We have games which are set up in different cultures from different countries, and when we play those games, we actually come across and know about those cultures. We understand those cultures. We understand, and that is where we identity and dialogues takes place.
Yeah.
So when we understand it without going to those countries, without understanding, and not only countries, in different setup in our countries also there are different cultures. Our
Yeah.
country is also multicultural country. So in that setup we understand that how these kind of cultures are interacting and negotiating with you, and you as a gamer can actually peep into the world of different cultures, and that is how game is as artifact also plays a role of a cultural currency.
Ma'am, next question that we have is that how can educators and game designers work together to create engaging and effective learning experiences?
That is very interesting, because I feel that games can be a very important mode of education, very important mode of academic of knowledge, impartation of knowledge, because you see that, and it has been happening, means there are many universities, in many colleges, in many fields, even for the media literacy, there are certain educators who are making games, who are actually teaching and making the ground level aware about media through games. So teenagers are actually gaining lot of insights through games. I can particularly name a country, Finland, where media literacy through games are being taught, and many different ways, like if you want to use games for making them developing a critical thinking within them, then you can always use it.
In fact, we also have a next question that is related to critical thinking only, and the person is asking, how can game designers can design games that fosters critical thinking and reflection?
Obviously, because games are basically giving you hit points, experience point, and critical thinking when you are creating certain situations and you have to deal with those situations through games. So that ways it is like motor driving lesson in a virtual media. So I feel that games are also like that only, because you are not actually driving, but you are in a virtual world, you are actually learning the intricacies of driving. So similarly, problem solving, analyzing things, all analytical skills, interpretation, you learn it, you actually critical thinking, problem solving, situation, in what situation, how to react, these things you learn while you are designing a game and you are playing it. So critical thinking is boosted, and it is very much important to understand that especially in youngsters, these critical thinkings can be fostered by using the game.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, we have a next question for you, and the person is asking, how can game literacy be integrated in educational settings and what are the benefits?
Similar question, but in education system we can actually game literacy be introduced, because you see, game is not only related to, and games are played by all age people. So nowadays mature people are also playing game, even it's not only related to teenagers, but in education system, if we are game literate, then obviously the part of literacy, it's a part of literacy, and as a part of literacy we are actually not only doing one kind of literacy, but also as I shown the mountain of literacy, we are taking care of every part of it. So game literacy is also important, because if you are, it is related to your, as I said, that critical thinking, and it doesn't directly benefit in knowing that in your degree, gaining your degree, but actually it is actually pedagogically helping you, because if you are developing your critical thinking, your analytical skills, then obviously you will use it in every sphere of life, and that way you will be complete overall development of a student is possible. So in game literacy can be included into educational system also, and education, in our education policy, in our academic syllabus, we can include it as part of the syllabus, as part of the media literacy.
Right. Ma'am, we have another question, and the person is asking that how can game criticism and analysis be used to promote better game development?
Yes, so obviously criticism makes you better. So when we talk about the negative points and
Yeah.
those games which have not done well and which has actually just like you said that it has proved fatal for the
Yeah.
many of the students in India. Also there have been many cases such like blue whale challenge. So in that case that's obviously we learn from our mistakes. So
Yes.
whatever mistakes we have done in the previous game, we will
Yeah.
not try to repeat it in the next one. So that is how we will learn. And obviously I feel that it is very obvious to understand that whatever mistakes from the previous games or different games, if we have conducted, if we have done any of the mistakes, we will not try to repeat it and we will try to overcome it in the next one. So obviously in any next version of any of the game, we find better features, better kind of different situations where we can deal with it, and more exciting games are there.
Right, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much for answering those questions. Yes, they were absolutely related to your presentation, but you did explain some more part of it. And thank you so much for showing us the way to be game literate and for sharing those valuable inputs in this training session of ours. Thank you for your time and contribution.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, dear viewers, it's now time for me to wrap up this online training program. Well, this is the culmination of this week's journey also, because it's day 5 and today we learned about game literacy under the umbrella theme of media literacy. This training program is brought to you by CIT, that is Central Institute of Educational Technology, in collaboration with Indian Institute of Mass Communication, New Delhi. I hope that you have liked all the sessions that we are conducting since Monday. You have watched them very carefully. Once again, once this session gets over, assessment courses will be released. Please log on to CIET's website for more guidelines and instructions on the same. There is a QR code and there is a particular link. Either way, you can opt for entering the page and attempting the MCQs which are there as form of assessment. And if you score more than 70%, you will be granted a certificate. And also it's very important for us to receive your feedback, so do write into us on our email ID training.helpdesk@ciet.nic.in. Next week, the same journey will be continued in Hindi for you right from 21st of October till 25th. Now with this, I'm wrapping up the session over here. Thank you so much for joining in. But before I leave, let me give you quick updates regarding the textbooks. Textbooks for grade 4 and 7 are now available on Amazon, Flipkart and NCERT website. You can purchase them from there. And simultaneously, you can take a quick look at the schedule, what's all coming ahead. So all these sessions you have been watching since morning, you can watch them again on our YouTube handle NCERT Official. In a short while from now, you can watch our session Sahyog, where the topic is going to be mental health, building resilience and self-awareness. And after that, we will bring you a session of school leadership development, where the title is going to be उत्तर प्रदेश के एक प्राथमिक विद्यालय में समुदाय की भागीदारी से विद्यालय को उत्कृष्ट बनाने हेतु नेतृत्व अभ्यास. With this, it's a wrap. This is me, Harpreet Kaur, taking leave of you. Namaskar.